What if everything you've been taught about where your rights come from is completely backwards? What if the government doesn't give you your freedoms but actually exists solely to protect freedoms you already possess? Today we're diving deep into the most revolutionary document in human history and why understanding it correctly could change everything about how you view your relationship with government. Welcome to the Legacy Republic, where we explore the timeless principles that built the greatest nation on earth through a constitutional republic mindset. I'm your host, and today we're starting our foundational series with Episode 2. The Declaration: Our rights come from God, not government. Before we jump in, let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're living in 1776. Kings rule by divine right. Governments grant privileges to subjects. Then a group of colonial rebels puts pen to paper and declares something so radical it shook the world to its core. They said your rights don't come from any earthly authority. They come from your Creator. This wasn't just political rhetoric. This was a complete inversion of how power had operated for thousands of years. And here's what's crucial: this principle is under attack today more than ever before. Let's break down what the Declaration actually says about natural law. When Thomas Jefferson wrote that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, he wasn't making a religious statement primarily. He was making a philosophical one rooted in natural law theory. Natural law says there are universal moral principles that exist independent of human government or human opinion. Think about it this way. If your rights come from government, then government can take them away whenever it chooses. If your rights come from popular vote, then 51% of people can vote away the rights of the other 49%. But if your rights come from natural law, from God, then no earthly power has legitimate authority to remove them. The founders understood this distinction perfectly. They had lived under a system where Parliament claimed the right to tax them without representation, to quarter soldiers in their homes, to deny them fair trials. The British government believed it possessed unlimited power over the colonies because that government was the source of whatever privileges colonists enjoyed. The Declaration rejected this entirely. It established that governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Notice that word, just powers. Not all powers. Only those powers that are morally legitimate. And what makes governmental power legitimate? Its sole purpose must be securing the natural rights that people already possess. Here's where this gets really practical for us today. Every single political issue ultimately comes down to this fundamental question: is government protecting our pre-existing rights, or is it claiming to grant us new privileges while simultaneously restricting our natural freedoms? Consider free speech. The First Amendment doesn't give you the right to speak freely. You already had that right from your Creator. The First Amendment restricts government from interfering with a right you already possessed. Same with religious liberty, self-defense, privacy, property rights. All of these exist in natural law before any constitution ever mentions them. This is why the Ninth Amendment says the enumeration of certain rights in the Constitution shall not be construed to deny others retained by the people. The founders knew they couldn't list every natural right, so they clarified that unlisted rights still belong to us, not to government. But here's what's happened over time. We've gradually accepted the premise that government grants us rights and privileges. We debate whether government should allow us to do this or that, rather than asking whether government has legitimate authority to restrict what we're naturally free to do. When government claims the power to shut down businesses, mandate medical procedures, restrict movement, or censor speech, it's operating from the old monarchical model where rulers grant privileges to subjects. When we accept this framing, we're abandoning the Declaration's revolutionary principle. The natural law framework also explains why the Declaration lists specific grievances against King George. Each complaint demonstrates how the British Crown had exceeded its legitimate authority by violating colonists' natural rights rather than protecting them. The colonists weren't asking for new privileges. They were demanding that government fulfill its only proper function, securing rights they already possessed. This brings us to the most important question. What does this mean for us today? It means every law, every regulation, every government action must be measured against this simple test. Does this protect our natural rights, or does it violate them? Does this recognize that we the people grant limited power to government, or does it assume government grants limited privileges to us? Understanding this principle changes everything. It means you approach politics not as a subject hoping for government benefits, but as a sovereign individual whose consent gives government whatever legitimate authority it possesses. It means recognizing that the burden of proof is always on government to justify its actions, not on you to justify your freedom. The Declaration didn't just announce American independence. It announced human independence from the idea that earthly authorities are the source of human rights. That principle remains as revolutionary today as it was 250 years ago. If this episode opened your eyes to something new, please hit that like button and subscribe to the Legacy Republic. Share this with someone who needs to understand where their rights truly come from, and let me know in the comments which natural right you think is most under attack today.